What's up, Internet? My name's Nerdy.
And I'm Clarus.
And that was an ad. Look at us.
What?
Succeeding. This is House of the Dragon, Episode 8, a show that is similarly succeeding because I love it.
Yes, it's succeeding in our hearts. And I think in most people's. I haven't
And probably
really seen...
financially.
Yes, I'm sure they are making money.
There's going to be some Pop Funkos from this season that are going to sell very well.
Yes.
They should just release a line that's just all the clothes Rhaenyra wore.
Oh my god, please. Give every single one.
Yeah, if you want the full relaxation.
The relaxation is at your local spa, the Nerdy Nightly.
If you want the full reaction, you can go over to patreon.com/nerdynightly, where you can like sync up your episode and watch alongside us as we mostly look at the screen blankly and then occasionally go, nice.
Nice.
All right, let's get into it.
Oh god. You're really selling the Patreon. I love it.
We're back in Westeros because it is Sunday. Here we are watching a trail of blood, a trail of blood, a trail of blood, a trail of blood, a trail of blood. And it is going down Viserys' Warhammer set where he battles with his best friends.
Oh my god. I really hope we get to see that like finished set. That would be very funny.
Do you think that this is all insinuating that Viserys is going to die on his Warhammer set and we're going to watch his blood at the end of the season pool down?
Maybe.
That this is all just foreshadowing for how he dies?
Yeah, maybe.
It's been near 6 years since I last saw my lord husband, Maester.
In the fighting, his neck was slashed by a courser's dagger. He fell overboard into the sea. But the greater concern is the fever that followed. He burns from within.
Corlys is dead?
Dying.
No!
I am the sea snake's own blood. The closest kin he has left.
Be careful, good brother. None can take your words for treason.
Yeah.
Wild. Because he's not wrong.
I speak the truth, Rhaenys. And you know it.
The matter has been decided.
The crown has good reason to take my side.
My cousin the king would have your tongue for this.
But it's not a king who sits the Iron Throne these days, good sister. It's a queen.
Oh, shit! What's up with Daddy V? Yeah, I guess if Viserys is alive, but he's too sick to, like, participate, Alicent just gets to... Spicy.
Unless he means that Rhaenyra has already taken the throne.
No, because Rhaenyra wouldn't take his side. Rhaenyra would take her son's side. It has to be Alicent. Alicent's the only queen that could be on the Iron Throne that would agree with Faemond.
Right.
Cool. Cool.
Hariadrom. Demijot Hanilix Rotulja.
His daughter is spying for him? Let's go, Bela.
Well, we'll see.
We all need to prepare ourselves for the internet's obsession with Bela is Bae. It's too easy.
It's too easy.
It's in the name.
And landed at the Blackwater.
Is she pregnant?
I think so.
Yes, she is.
I don't expect you to learn High Valyrian in a day, Jace.
A king should honor the traditions of his forebears.
Well, unless you're planning to depose your own mother, you have plenty of time to study. He means to call into question Luke's legitimacy.
Has the Viper's venom spread so far?
Those vipers rule in my father's name. And my father... What choice do I have?
We're going back to King's Landing.
Of course. Yeah, that makes sense.
I like that this season, this show really is everyone doesn't want to be there, but everyone keeps having to go back there.
Yeah.
It's Sunday night dinner at the family's house, but nobody wants to be there for family dinner.
Yeah.
I would say it's nice to be home, but I scarcely recognize it.
Yeah.
It's about the prince. There's been a delicate situation in his apartments.
It's funny. King's Landing's been so warm all season, and it is so cold now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brother. Who is that?
This is Aegon.
Aegon.
And this is Viserys.
Alicent is going to be incensed.
Yeah.
Now that is a name fit for a king.
Aww.
My tea.
Tea. This?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
This hurts my heart.
Oh my god, I know.
He's meeting his grandkids. Oh, Patty. Are they poisoning him?
Maybe.
I brought her here immediately. She's seen no one else, you guys. When I turned, I didn't see him. I asked him to stop, you guys. He did. Truly. You must believe me.
Oof.
I know it wasn't your fault. I believe you.
And no one else saw what happened between the two of you. If anyone else were to hear about this.
I haven't told anyone.
You told Sir Eric and Talia and now me. And though I believe you were not to blame, others might not be so trusting.
Oh God, Alicent.
Oh my god.
Oh God, Alicent.
Troubles.
The tea, you guys.
This is brutal.
It's best to be certain.
They really are setting her up as the villain.
She's the worst.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This
Like-
isn't it's complicated which side you're on.
I know,
She's the villain.
Yeah. Yeah. All those people who were fighting Team Green last week are like,
Get up.
Aegon!
Was fun. She didn't need to go get upset about it.
Think of the shame on your wife. On me. How can you keep carrying on like this, especially on a day like today?
Why? What is it today?
You deserve that one. But maybe he keeps doing it because you keep paying them off.
yeah.
Ugh.
You are no son of mine.
I did not ask for this. I've done everything you've asked me to, and I try so hard, but it will never be enough for you or Father.
Jesus.
It's been so long since we were granted the joy of your presence.
Though not long enough to merit a greeting upon our arrival.
I'm sure the Queen had pressing business, my love. What can either of us know of ruling a kingdom?
I do not rule, as you well know.
I'd be surprised if he could remember his own name, or if you could.
King Viserys' condition has worsened since you saw him last. Considerable pain on the advice of the maesters.
Oh, the maesters.
For the king's suffering, did the maesters also prescribe the removal of Targaryen heraldry and the installation in its stead of various statues and stars?
Which authority will sit in judgment of my son's claim on his own inheritance?
That would be mine. And the hands. But be assured the father is just and commands me to forget the accusations you have held in this room today.
That went well. Daemon has no tact.
No. And he should Alicent is not even being slightly coy about it.
I know.
And they're so grown.
I know.
They give me very strong James and Sirius in their Hogwarts Series vibes.
Yeah.
Everyone's staring at us.
Yeah, because you're the future king.
Yeah.
If I look more like Sir Rhaenyra of Velaryon than Sir Harwin Strong.
It doesn't matter what they think.
A little bit. It does a little.
What was that?
I don't know. But I just hate mid-swing edits.
Yeah.
I think that it's the most like
in no time. I don't give a shit about Tawnies. Nephews? Have you come to train?
Aemon's intense. I like it. I love Aemon so much.
He's an ass.
Oh, he's a monster, but love him. Because I agree with him. Losing an eye is worth it if you get a dragon.
Oh, okay.
The next Lord of the Ties will be deeply in your debt, Your Grace. As will Driftmark, in all its strength.
I'm such a fan of Aemon. Well, I can't be Team Green. They're the worst.
I know.
Might I speak to the princess alone, Rhaenyra? Princess.
Hey, so I didn't kill your son.
You intend to advocate for yourself? This is no fair proceeding. It is a trap. I'll make you an offer. Back Luke's claim and let us betroth Laena's children to mine.
A generous offer. Or a desperate one.
What does it matter?
But tomorrow the High Towers land their first blow. They force you to your knees. And I must stand alone.
Damn it.
Oh, gosh.
Ah, damn it.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping Rhaenys would be... I feel like honesty would have been a real good virtue there.
Yeah, it's one of those things where we're like, oh, we helped your son escape. Like,
Rhaenys, your son's gay.
yeah.
I don't know how to tell you this.
Yeah. It's a tough conversation to have under the best circumstances.
The Song of Ice and Fire, do you believe it to be true?
Eggol's dream.
I thought I wanted it. But the burden is a heavy one.
They're giving such a quality performance. This is awesome.
I know.
If you wish me to bear it, then defend me. And my children.
The makeup department crushed it.
Yeah.
He looks amazing.
I want to have supper, Otto. It is the morning, Your Grace. Tonight.
God damn it.
I want us to dine together.
This is the episode. He's gonna get one last dinner.
Yeah.
We gather here with the grim task of dealing with the succession of Driftmark.
He's not dead yet.
What do you know of Velaryon blood, Princess? I could cut my veins and show it to you, and you still wouldn't recognize it. This is about the future and survival of my house, not yours.
Do Valerians have different colored blood?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the blood's all gonna look the same.
I humbly put myself before you as my brother's successor. The Lord of Driftmark and Lord of the Tides.
Thank you, Sir Vaemond.
Does Vaemond have kids?
Not that we've seen.
Talks a lot about his bloodline for...
We haven't even seen a wife, so I
Yeah.
don't know. I genuinely don't know.
If I am to grace this fast with some answer, I will start by reminding the court that nearly 20 years ago in this very...
King Viserys of House Targaryen.
Let's go!
Lord of the Seven Kingdoms and protector of the realm.
The fear.
Otto.
The fear. As long as he doesn't drop dead on his way to the throne.
Does he have 20 steps and like a couple sentences in him?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
If your whole plan relies on that guy just not showing up, it's a bad plan. It is so interesting how much he visually resembles the crab feeder now. From earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Let's go, Viserys.
She's like, God damn it.
Yes! He shows up for his daughter. I knew Viserys was a Team Black. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will sit the throne today.
I love that they're not cutting this. It's you get
If he
these
falls on a
full-
sword, I'm gonna lose it. Oh no.
I said I'm fine. Come on.
That was very sweet.
Boy.
I do not understand why petitions are being heard over a settled succession. The only one present who might offer keener insight into Lord Corlys's wishes is the Princess Rhaenys.
What you gonna do, Rhaenys? What you gonna do?
It was ever my husband's will that Driftmark pass through Selênor to his true-born son, Viserys Velaryon. His mind never changed. As a matter of fact, the Princess Rhaenyra has just informed me of her desire to marry her sons Jace and Luke to Lord Corlys's granddaughters, Baelor and Rhaena.
In the back, he said,
I heartily agree.
The matter settled.
Aegon is... I mean, terrible, but like...
Yeah.
He's enjoying this.
Prince Viserys of House Velaryon is heir to Driftmark, the Driftwood throne, and the next Lord of the Tides.
I will not allow it.
Allow it.
Her children are bastards! And she is a whore.
What's your plan, Vaemond?
We'll have your tongue for that.
There's the tongue.
He can keep his tongue.
That dagger is still in between them.
Woo! The tongue hanging on the top of the head was a very cool visual.
Yeah, it was something. Oh my. Well.
Vaemond, I gotta ask, my dude.
What
was
were
the
you
plan?
thinking? Yeah, you Dumbass.
I will decide what happens to my house, so I'm going to commit treason in the throne room where I can have my head cut off, and the guy who does it suffers 0 Oh, that's...
Wow. That is a visual.
What did he think was gonna happen?
I don't know.
The stranger has visited me more times than I can count, Grand Maester. I assure you, he cares little whether my eyes are open or closed.
Jeez.
Rhaenys, very subtly, is like an MVP of this show. Every time she shows up, like her performance across this entire season has been incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Like she's just so good. And it's been nice to have a couple of these older actors who carry across the whole season so that when there's these time jumps, there are these consistent, really strong performances that ground the world in like the continuation of the...
Yes, absolutely. He should be Sauron.
He would be a good Anatar, yeah. He seems smooth enough. That'd be fun.
Right?
I think he's a little busy with the next 4 seasons of this.
I know.
How good it is to see you all tonight. Together.
May the Smith mend the bonds that have been broken for far too long. And to Vaemon Velaryon, may the gods give him rest.
I was like, do you have to do this now?
Yeah.
Let us toast as well, Prince Viserys, the future Lord of the Tides.
Hear, hear. You'll be great.
He'll have you.
You do know how the act is done, I assume. At least in principle. Where to put your cock and all that.
Yeah, you ask first.
You're betrothed to your sister, dude. I don't really know where you're coming from with your...
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
My own face is no longer a handsome one. If indeed it ever was.
It was.
You did good.
I wish you to see me as I am. The crown cannot stand strong if the House of the Dragon remains divided. But set aside your grievances. And for the sake of this old man, who loves you all so dearly,
He means so well.
He was a good king.
I wish to raise my cup to Her Grace the Queen. She has tended to him with unfailing devotion, and for that she has my gratitude. And my apology.
We have more in common than we sometimes allow.
This is weird.
I know, I'm...
It's so sweet.
I know, but it makes me nervous. I'm
Yep.
like, okay, what's... Okay.
You will make a fine queen.
But what's the other shoe?
I know.
Is it gonna be Loras?
What?
Loras. He's gonna be the one that messes everything up.
Oh, the
Loras Strong? Laras Strong?
Yeah. Lars? Yeah, I don't remember.
I regret the disappointment you're soon to suffer. But if you ever wish to know what it is to be well satisfied, all you have to do is ask.
Bro.
To Prince Aegon and Prince Aemond, And as men, I hope we may yet be friends and allies. To you and your family's good health, dear uncles.
Jace is learning. You can win by taking the high road.
I would like to toast Baela and Rhaenyra. They'll be married soon. It isn't so bad. Mostly he just ignores you. Except sometimes when he's drunk.
Ah. Oh my god.
It's not so bad. He doesn't really pay attention to me.
Wow. I was not expecting that. Okay.
Oh no, she's delightful. This is too happy a moment.
I know, it's gonna get ruined.
No, I think the scene might end happy. I think Viserys dies tonight.
Yeah.
I think the show might actually let this be the final thing he...
Yeah, not everyone has to have the most tragic final moments. Yeah. Oh, my heart.
But even if he managed to bring his family together for a brief moment in his final moments, that's like a beautiful last...
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
This is so beautiful.
To the health of my nephews, Jace, Luke, and Joffrey. Each of them handsome, wise,
and strong.
Strong.
Aemond.
Come, strong boys.
I dare you to say that again.
Why? It was only a compliment. Do you not think yourself strong?
Whoa!
Let me see the children home. I'll, return on Dragonback.
The king and I would both like that.
Well done,
Otto
Viserys.
is gonna ruin this.
I don't know. Something's gonna happen, but how far into her pregnancy do you think she can still ride her dragon?
No.
I know it's like a weird question, but...
The forward lean, I feel like, would be a problem at some point.
I'm assuming it's somewhere in the third trimester, but... Oh, hey!
She's still around.
It's been 15 years.
Yeah.
It's been quite a night at the castle, it seems.
Yes, lady.
She's the new, Oh, and I always forget his name, the spider.
Yeah, Varys.
It starts with a V. Yeah, it's like, it's not Viserys.
But we also have Larys.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, no.
Oh, don't you remember? Aegon.
No!
His dream. The Song of Ice and Fire. It is true. It is you. You are the one.
No.
Oh, damn it.
It's all gonna fall apart because of a misunderstanding.
understand, my king.
No, damn it. No, you don't, though. You don't understand.
Oh my god. Fuck.
My love.
God damn.
This is why prophecies are bullshit.
I know.
Wow. God
damn it.
That was a very emotional episode.
Yeah, it was. Oh my god, there were so many good moments. Like I'm like, oh my gosh. That dinner scene was
unreal.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking Alicent and her sons are the worst.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Horrendous. I want to see fucking Daemon kick Aemon's ass.
I love that Daemon stood up to him and was like, "What's up, mini-me? I know that they moved the D from the beginning of my name to the end of your name.
Yeah.
I know you're trying so hard to be me, but you ain't me yet,
You ain't
boy."
me. Yeah. Yeah. That was a good moment.
When I was 12 years old, my grandmother, my mama, she slipped and she fell. She hit her head and she ended up in the hospital for like 6 months. It was really bad.
Oh, wow.
And she never really got better. She just wouldn't die. And we drove down that summer and we went to pick her up from the hospital she was at. And we took her back to her house and everyone gathered. And 3 hours in, she just passed away, like in the room with all of us there. And she just been holding on, waiting to like be with people.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, you know, it was kind of beautiful. Like it wasn't sad, right? Because we all knew it was coming. It was just, it was when we were together. And I think that this episode is just, it reminds me so much of that, just because, you know, he's in so much pain, but I love that his last action was to stand up and tell his family to be kind to each other, and they looked at him and took that honestly and for a moment tried.
Yes.
Well, the kids are being kids. They're kids, right? But like
I mean,
the
Aegon
Alicent
isn't
and
really
Rhaenyra,
a kid anymore.
Sure, but Rhaenyra and Alicent genuinely tried for a moment, and it was really beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
And I think the performances in this episode are just unreal.
Yeah. Everybody's incredible.
The introductions of these, like, the final forms of the, or at least for this season. I don't know, there might be more time jumps in the future, but.
Yeah, maybe. Especially because they're like, we have more kids, right?
I just, I thought that was a really incredible episode of television. I thought it was so emotional and so, just, it was really beautiful.
Yeah.
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 This show doesn't get to be beautiful very often, but like
No,
that was...
and I think that's what makes it stand out is like this world sucks. Like these people's lives are hard and they don't have a lot of moments of like real happiness or like I guess togetherness because everyone's fighting and scheming and plotting to advance themselves or their children or their children's children or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Right? Like no, like it's so rare that you have like friends, you know, you have like allies and you have enemies very often, but it's so rare that you have friends and family that you can actually like trust. Like, you know, like they're all family, but they all have reasons to like depose one another and it was a really well done moment when Rhaenyra decided like my dad is dying and I know like regardless of whether or not what she truly feels and it did feel genuine but like you know like she tried for Viserys.
There is a part of me that kind of wishes it was a little bit more gray between her and Alicent. I do wish that a little bit. I feel like they've made Rhaenyra so much the good person and Alicent so much the bad person. Because even in the last episode, we had Rhaenyra tried to marry off... I can't remember who she tried to marry. but she has consistently like in the scene in the small council when she's trying to betroth one of her kids to one of Alicent's kids.
Yep.
And Alicent kind of like rebuffs that. Like I feel like Rhaenyra has made these grand gestures. The only thing Rhaenyra ever really did wrong was sleep with Kristen Cole, right? In Alicent's eyes, whereas Alicent keeps making situations much worse.
Yeah.
And keeps, making these awful decisions. And then, is raising Aegon and Aemond the way that she is, which is allowing them to become these men who are the worst, right?
Yeah.
And so it's hard to root for Alicent because she is in the wrong almost always.
Yeah.
And now she's going to be in the wrong because of a misunderstanding, which is admittedly not my favorite.
No. Yeah.
I don't love... Oh, I misheard a prophecy, so now I'm gonna undo all of the things that I've these relationships that I actually have.
Well, and like that he's like dying and drugged up.
Yeah.
Like you really should be like those kinds of things should all be taken with a very big grain of salt.
So like that's not my favorite choice, but the character work was so strong that I like the way that it played out. And I thought that the acting in that moment was really good.
Yeah.
And so I will accept it. I think Rhaenys in this episode was a huge standout for me.
Yeah.
I think when she makes the turn, you really don't see it coming. She's so stoic and so just... She is the only person in that room who really feels like a queen to me.
Yeah.
She stands and she behaves and she presides over people like a queen.
Yeah.
And you can almost feel like the whole realm would be better off because of her performance in this episode. The whole realm would have been better off.
Yeah.
But Viserys was a good king.
He did his best.
There was peace, there was prosperity. The only place where there was turmoil in the Seven Kingdoms during his reign was his kids.
Well, no, I mean there's obviously like there was the whole Crab King situation and Daemon stirred up some shit.
There was there was a small feudal moment in the Stepstones. But that wasn't even a war, right? Like that was just like the Stepstones aren't even a country.
Yeah.
There was no big battle. There was no... Viserys was a king who presided over a country and he held shit together. Yeah. And the problem was that his kids are problematic. The whole situation would have been fine if he just married that 12-year-old.
Oh,
which is a weird thing to say.
I know.
But everything would have been better if he'd married a child. So that's the lesson to learn from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I don't really like walking away from this with that in mind.
There would be no problems if Viserys had been willing to marry a 12-year-old.
Or
a 12-year-old his 12-year-old niece.
Or Viserys doesn't remarry and have more kids to contest with Rhaenyra.
No, he had to remarry. That's not an option. Who's Alicent gonna marry?
When he dies?
Yeah. She's gonna have to remarry.
Her son, I don't know. Game of Thrones.
Aemond?
I don't know. Gross. Fucking gross.
Her dad.
No.
Otto.
No.
Otto and Alicent.
They're not Targaryens.
As much as I think that like Alicent is the worst, Olivia Cook's crushing it.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
She's taking the material they've given her and is just like...
Yeah.
Everyone's great. The new kids, all pretty fantastic. Like I have no like... The show is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that Kristen Cole still looks like he's like 21.
Kristen Cole is the only man in Westeros who moisturizes. No, and Daemon. And Daemon.
Daemon as well. Him and his brother either have years of difference or years of stress difference.
No, his brother has leprosy.
Has leprosy?
Yeah. That's why he fell apart like that.
What do you mean?
Like he has leprosy. That's why he's been like losing his arm and his like eye falling out. They've said in like interviews and stuff that it's they don't have a diagnosis for it because it's Westeros, right?
Right.
But they modeled the illness that takes him after leprosy.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's rough.
It's brutal. It's brutal to watch. But I will say, fantastic job on the CGI.
Yeah.
The eye in particular.
And the teeth showing through the mouth. Like, oh God.
There was some real close-up shots of that CGI. And not at once did he ever not look real to me.
No.
It never like stood out, which is impressive.
Yeah.
Those were close-ups.
Yeah.
And that's really hard to do. And I was really impressed with... pretty consistently the way that his decline was portrayed by both the makeup department and here obviously some special effects.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that the Patty's decline visually was really amazing.
Yeah, they did an incredible job.
Yeah. And it's funny, there's an interview where Matt Smith is talking about how patient Patty is,
Mhm.
and because of like the hours in the makeup chair, and I was like, it can't have taken them hours to put their wigs on. Like that doesn't make any sense. And now I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh right, the hours to like get the lesions and stuff on his body for those shots.
Yeah.
The CGI of the Vaymond head cutoff also looked
Oh my
fantastic.
God, that was wild.
That might have the one on the ground might have been a physical prop, but the actual shot of the slice was really clean. Like that looked great.
Yeah, that Valerian steel, it's cuts good. Cuts real good.
Do you think the dragon budget in this episode was saved because next week is episode 9, which is historically when
Yes.
Game of Thrones went
I was literally
ham?
gonna say we didn't see any dragons in this episode, so
Dragon eggs.
Yeah, which that is very, very cool.
So now that Rhaenyra also has an Aegon son, what Viserys is saying there is different now, right? Alicent's not going to take that to mean anything, though. But Alicent, you've met your son. Do you really think that your son should be king?
Absolutely not. What a fucking nightmare of a human.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you guys want so much from me. I'm like, you what? When have they ever what?
Yeah.
I'm
Maybe
so
don't
sad. Yeah.
sexually assault the serving staff. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope she has fucking Sir Kristen just like spank him.
What is this, Wheel of Time?
Yes. Bringing Robert Jordanisms into Game of Thrones.
Avienda shows up and just spanks him around the castle.
Yeah.
Wow. I love this show. It's probably my favorite thing this year. It's tough. Sandman is up there with it.
Yeah,
but, like,
Sandman is also very good.
This and the Sandman are like the two things this year that I think are like impeccable from beginning to end.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, there's 2 more episodes. You know, I'm open to this could fall apart. If the prophecyness of that last moment really doesn't work for me,
Yeah, that'll
it
be
could
a
hurt
problem.
my experience of it.
Yeah.
Just because I misunderstanding a prophecy leading to a big war can be a little convenient, and I hope that this show has not been convenient at all up until this point.
Yeah.
And so I really hope that it doesn't become sort of a like easy way into something else.
Yeah.
When this show has really made everything so character driven,
Mhm.
and I hope that I love the way they land it the next 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Because I would put this up there with any season of Game of Thrones in terms of my taste.
Yeah.
Like I think this show is remarkably good.
Yeah, they've done an incredible job. I was not expecting so much of the Light of the Seven brought in from Alicent. Like I wonder if that came from Otto or like why suddenly.
Well, no, she's a Hightower, right? She was raised in that.
Sure, I just mean like she's been Queen Regent for so many years, and like there was never any. We didn't see those like changes until except from this time jump.
Well, yeah, because Viserys was more in control of the castle.
Yeah.
And that's more like her. I don't think her faith is new, but I think her ability to show her faith more publicly in the castle is new. Because the castle is empty. Those hallways that when Viserys was in health, those hallways that were always filled with people are just cold and empty. And like that shot of Daemon and Rhaenyra walking into that hallway for the first time, where every other time we've been in that stairwell, it's been bustling and there was no one there. That was the most striking moment. And we see it through the light, the Star of the Seven. Right?
It was a little interesting. I just found that like we'd never had like Alicent's faith set up before this. Like there's even a moment where Alicent and Rhaenyra as kids like light a candle, but I don't think that that's for the Seven. That seems like a completely different thing.
She teaches Rhaenyra prayer in that moment. To
the Seven? I don't think.
But that who else would I think it's not implicit because the implication is who else would she be praying to?
The old gods? Isn't that the thing, the old gods and the new? I would have to go back and look at that scene.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I just it was.
I find her having the faith of Westeros just makes so much sense in relation to where her family is from, right?
Well, it's not really the faith of Westeros because a lot of Westeros worships the old gods, and then a lot of Westeros worships the new gods.
Right. But she's from the south.
Yeah.
She's not from the north, right?
Yeah.
So she would worship the new gods.
Yeah, I guess. I wonder when the Seven.
Which is funny because you would think that Old Town would worship the old gods, but it doesn't. No. But no, like she would have been raised with the new gods pretty strongly in her life.
That's what I thought, but yeah.
Yeah, it's more the Targaryens who don't, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I love that like that comes into play here.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I love this show.
There's so many layers. It's so complex. And
I just want a Negroni spagagliato with prosecco in it. Oh, stunning! I can't get that sound out of my head.
I know.
It's
gonna be a TikTok sound.
I can't.
You know it.
I feel like Emma Darcy. First of all, they're crushing it.
Yeah.
They are the centerpiece of the show. They are the hinge that all of the world revolves around in terms of House of the Dragon.
Yeah.
And they are holding it together.
Oh,
and they had a
God,
big job because Millie Alcock was incredible.
Yeah.
But they deserve so much money from Campari this week. Like, Campari needs to write them the fattest of checks. Because that clip is going to sell more Campari than Campari has ever sold in its entire lifetime.
Yeah. They just did a bunch of advertising for them without even like meaning to.
Yeah. Much like this episode was sponsored by Established.Titles.com. Go to Established.Titles.com. Link in the description. Link in the pinned comment. They were kind enough to help us help you become lords and ladies. You could be a lord of a lady, I guess, if the lady's a higher station. Anyway, go to Established.Titles.com. They're great, and you can be a lady, much like my lady.
That's me. Oh.
Claris Polaris. You're a lady.
I am.
You own land in Scotland.
That cool.
There's
Love
a spot where you can go stand and be like, this is my land.
This is mine.
This land
Nobody
is
touch.
my land. It's about a square foot in Scotland.
Now we have to go visit
I'm a
Scotland.
lady.
Guys, if you're in Scotland, please let us know, because we're going to have to come and visit, obviously.
If you like this video, like and subscribe to the channel. If you don't, hit the dislike button. Leave mean comments down below because the algorithm god, she is hungry and we must feed her. This episode of the algorithm goddess, of course, is the queen who should be Rhaenys, because, you know, she's been traveling a lot lately. She just lost her husband, maybe. He might survive.
Sorry.
So, you know.
I don't think he's going to survive.
I just love him so much.
I know.
I really love him so much.
I know.
Steve Toussaint has been...
We got to get out of here. Because
you're going to sneeze?
Yeah.
So feed Rhaenys mean comments. If you want to follow us around the internet, you can. I was going to redo the outro, but let's not. We can keep the sneezes in. Someone will enjoy that. If you want to follow us around the internet, you can. I'm at Nerdy Nightly.
I'm at Claris Polaris.
And as always, do something nerdy tonight.
Bye.
Bye, friends.